All right, so thank you everybody for joining us this morning. We have Malinda Williams and LeQui Raymond here with us from OU Fit+Rec out of Norman. We are excited for them to talk to us about strength training for everybody. And we will go ahead and let them get started to be mindful of your time since it's a few minutes after 11 to allow for questions that you may have. All right, take it away, ladies.
Very good. Well, my name is LeQui Raymond. I'm the wellness coordinator for fitness and recreation. I oversee the group fitness program and also coordinate our wellness programming.
And my name is Malinda Williams, and I'm assistant director for fitness and recreation. I oversee the Starkey's Fitness Center and partner with LeQui on our fitness programming that we do here. So we have a great topic. We have a great topic for you today, talking about strength training for everybody to kick off our Fit Start program for the year. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And what we want to cover today are some of the benefits of strength training, but also looking at how you can fit it into your life with what you have available and what your comfort level in your experience is.
All right, so we will get started. So first we'll talk about the benefits of strength and resistance training. Number one, as we age, we tend to lose muscle mass. And so including some sort of strength and resistance training will help us to maintain and prevent any loss of muscle mass. It also helps to increase muscular fitness and prevents osteoporosis. So, you know, we want to maintain healthy bones and joints by doing strength training. It also helps to maintain and improve functional balance and movement. So you think about everyday activities that you do, strength training can help with that. So, you know, this may be funny, but it's one of my favorite examples. You know, okay, what's the benefit of a squat? Well, everyone has to go sit on the potty. So a squat can help with, you know, when you have to sit down on the pot or sit down on a chair. So, you know, just functional everyday movements, we can incorporate strength training to help us with that. And as far as, you know, balance, you know, as we get more seasoned, you know, sometimes, you know, falls happen. And if you are doing some sort of strength training and making sure that you're maintaining good muscle mass, that's going to help with preventing falls in the first place and also prevent injuries if a fall does happen. And that's to the next point, prevents injury prevention. And then it also helps lower body fat. So if you're trying to lose weight, you know, strength training is going to be very important in that process, but also just maintaining what lean mass you already have. And, you know, if you're trying to achieve a certain, you know, shape in your body, that's going to help with maintaining or improving the shape of your body.
So strength training really has started to be coined as the fountain of youth. There are so many different benefits that, as LeQui just spoke about, that really help us as we are aging to kind of slow that. I think in the past, the thought has been that it's going to be natural for us to become less strong as we age. Oftentimes that is due to the types of lifestyle that we have or our work setting where we're not just as active as we used to be. And so therefore we start to see our body change and our muscle mass decrease. But the good news is that there are opportunities there for you to be able to slow that or even reverse that from occurring. I know that strength training can sometimes be overwhelming, where to get started, you know, thinking about going into the gym, not being familiar with the equipment, being afraid of bulking up. Let me assure you, though, that these are all things that that there are options to do outside of the gym so that you can help to maintain your muscle mass or build that muscle mass. Here are some of the general guidelines that are out there from the American College of Sports Medicine for what are the minimums that are recommended in order to maintain health. So this is looking at maintaining health, all the things that LeQui mentioned, helping to prevent. and just ensuring that we are allowing ourselves to be as independent as we possibly can for as long as we can. So the minimum goal is to perform strength exercising on 2 non-consecutive days. So that means to, instead of doing strength training on Monday and Tuesday, maybe do strength training on Monday and Thursday. Spaced out those number of days is actually ideal to make sure that you are able to continue to build on your strength, but also give your body enough time to recover between those exercise bouts. And for healthy adults, 1 set of 8 to 12 repetitions is all that's needed in order to work on health. If you're looking for performance, if you're looking for reducing that body fat even more, then doing 2 to 3 sets is recommended. But when we are looking for overall health, so balance, looking at osteoporosis, those types of things, 1 set of 8 to 12 repetitions. And for older individuals, 10 to 15 repetitions, because it's going to be more important for them to start with even lighter weight in order to help to protect their body. And then selecting 8 to 10 exercises that target the major muscle groups is what's recommended. So 1 exercise for your chest, 1 exercise for your back, 1 for your shoulders, so on and so forth, in order to make sure that you hit all those muscles and you have a well-balanced exercise program that's going to give you the best protection and ensure that you are able to move and do all the things that you want to do. LeQui's got there we go. Okay, so as we continue to think about this, there are some different types of resistance training that you can do. So we're thinking about resistance, which means that it doesn't necessarily have to use weights. However, weights is an option. So free weights would be thinking about things like dumbbells and kettlebells, or a bench with a bar, things that you're moving each body part separately. So if you're using, where you are able to control the angle that you're doing much more effectively. Machine weights is another, or we'll call them select weights. So these are the machines where you have a weight stack and you have a pin that you put into it, and there's usually a pulley or a bar, and so it is controlling which direction you're moving in every single time that you are using that piece of equipment. Body weight is another great one, doing things like push-ups and squats and crunches, just using your own body weight in order to challenge yourself, which I know from personal experience that sometimes body weight can be more challenging than some of the others. And then other types of equipment. So you can use resistance bands. Resistance bands are one of my favorites to use, or even things like water bottles or canned goods, or a backpack filled with books or a bag filled with some canned goods. And then there are a lot of other types of things like stability balls and medicine balls and battle ropes, and the list goes on and on. There are so many different varieties of equipment that can be used to really fit what your interests are and what's realistic for you. So wide variety of things that you can choose. And I think it's important to kind of think about where to get started if you're not exercising. And so it might be with using some of the other types of equipment first, or machine weights or body weight, and then moving to things like free weights. As you gain more experience, then you can add more complex pieces of equipment into your workout if you want to. But the beautiful thing is you don't have to, because you can do so many without having to go into a gym atmosphere in order to get your workout in.
All right, so next I'm going to talk about the American College of Sports Medicine's recommendations for physical activity. And, you know, this is for just overall. We're going to look at about 150 minutes per week. And to break that down, it's at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity, 5 days per week. And when we say moderate intensity, you want to think about the talk test. You know, whenever you're working out, are you able to just speak freely. If it's moderate intensity, you should be able to talk, but you're going to feel like maybe you're kind of out of breath. So you're not going to be able to hold a conversation, but you're going to be able to, to speak. Or 20 minutes or more, typo there, of vigorous activity 3 days per week. So you can also use a combination of those two, moderate and vigorous intensity activities can be performed to meet that recommendation. So 150 minutes total, moderate to vigorous intensity activities. And this is in addition to the recommendations that Malinda covered for resistance training. Some of the everyday activities that you can use to meet these recommendations would be like walking, running, swimming, cycling, climbing stairs. I know that can be very challenging. Hiking. Those are just some of the everyday activities that you can include. But we also can do fitness classes, like our group fitness classes that we offer here at the Sarkeys Fitness Center. Woo-hoo! Plug for us. Any type of sports. So if you're into basketball, playing tennis, those are things that can be included, but also hobbies like, if you like to dance or, some types of, if you're gardening, working in the yard, those types of things can contribute to those recommendations. The key is that, some physical activity is better than none. So you want to make sure that you're moving. Every move counts. You want to start with, if you're new to physical activity, start with something small and work your way up. So you don't feel like you have to go from not working out to, being physically active for an entire hour, hardcore, find out where you are, start with something, and then build from there. Next, we'll talk about the benefits of physical activity and resistance training for just overall health. According to the CDC, heart disease and stroke are among the 2 leading causes of death. One thing that resistance training and physical activity can do is help reduce the risk of chronic diseases, including heart disease, also type 2 diabetes, and then certain types of cancer. So if you're wanting, to live long and have a good quality of life, physical activity and resistance training is going to help with that by reducing those chronic diseases. It also improves the ability to perform everyday activities, kind of like what I mentioned earlier, just, functional stuff. So even if you're not into training to run a marathon, just being able to walk comfortably, around the block or, to and from your car, things like that are everyday activities. It also improves mental health and cognitive functioning. Physical activity is going to help you, think more sharply. It can act, kind of as an antidepressant because you do get endorphins from working out. So, physical activity can contribute to our mental health and just our mental sharpness throughout the day. Obviously it's going to help with weight management, whether you're planning to lose weight or maintain weight. We're trying to achieve healthy weights. So physical activity and resistance training are very important to those, in addition to, finding healthy eating habits. And believe it or not, it also helps improve sleep. Ideally, physical activity, works great in the morning for kind of giving you that energy boost. But if you're not like me and not a morning person, you can get it in the afternoon or in the evening. You just want to make sure that you're not working out too close to your bedtime. So 2 hours, before bedtime, you don't want to get any type of, hardcore or, high intensity physical activity. But again, balance of healthy eating habits and exercise is going to help with your overall health.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the different types of exercise that you can do, how to incorporate it into your life, whether you're doing it at home, in the office, or at the gym. First thing I want to remind you though, is that if you have not been exercising, it's always a good idea to check to make sure it is safe for you to exercise. So taking into considerations if you have a health risk or you have some, different health situations that are currently going on, or if you have injuries. And so what we always recommend is to search for the Get Active questionnaire. So that's Get Active questionnaire. And it's just a series of several yes or no questions that you answer in order to determine whether it is appropriate for you to start an exercise program, or if maybe you should talk to your physician before you begin exercising. So that's always really important, just to keep yourself safe from the start. And LeQui had some great recommendations for starting off slow, always making sure that you're starting off slow and easy and then gradually building up. So when you think about resistance training, it fits into those overall recommendations that we have for an exercise program for health. And it can sound really overwhelming to say, okay, I need to exercise for 150 minutes doing some kind of cardio. I need to be stretching. I need to be doing resistance training. And just as she recommended, pick one, start with something and then gradually adjust and increase if that works for you. And even doing short sessions throughout the day can help to build your fitness and your strength. So maybe a 5-minute bout of some resistance exercises, or going for a 10-minute walk, building up and gradually adding and incorporating that into your day when it fits, I think is most important. Some of the things that we will get asked is, what time is the best time to exercise, or what kind of exercise is the best to do? The time is the time that's going to work most realistically for your life, and the type of exercise is what's going to work more realistically for your life. Finding things that you enjoy is really important to ensure that it's something that you can stick with and be consistent, and be able to build it in the way that it is not going to cause you to rearrange your entire life, which I have made that choice before, and it might work for a short period of time, but then I'm not able to maintain it. But when I find ways to fit it in for myself, I'm consistent with it much more. Okay, so let's talk about some of the different ways that we can exercise. I'm going to start with at the gym and then move around a little bit so that we can just show my screen, and then you get to see me exercise in my office. So at the gym, there is a wide variety of equipment that you can use. The machines, as I suggested before, if you're going to the gym, the machine weights are the best, safest way to start for a couple of different reasons. They allow you to set the piece of equipment up for you. Oftentimes you'll see on the pieces of equipment red dots at like the place where your joints might be. So knowing that you need to adjust the piece of equipment so that your elbow is set up with the joint or that little red dot or whatever the indicator might be, to make sure it's set up to work properly for you. So you're able to adjust it. It also controls the way that you are exercising. And there are pictures on those machines too that show you what muscle groups you're working and how to use the piece of equipment. So it's a place that you can go and start to learn that, and obviously ask for assistance from the individuals that work at the fitness center so that they can help you with that as well. So that's a good place to start. Another great place to start is with a fitness class. Fitness professionals are certified, and they have experience. They are there to help to design the program for you. So no matter what your experience level is, that fitness instructor is going to be ready to give you information on how to make the exercise work for you. So what you're doing might be a little different from the person who is next to you in class, because they're going to adjust the workout to fit what your experience level is and what your what your starting point is in terms of your fitness level. So not just experience, but your fitness level. So utilizing those fitness classes to learn how to do proper form, to understand how to use some of the different pieces of equipment, to get ideas about how an exercise bout should be designed so that you are hitting all of the muscle groups, is also a great option. And through Fitness and Recreation, we have a couple of different ways that you can join our fitness classes. You can join them in the classroom here at the Sarkees Fitness Center, or you can join them virtually. And with the virtual portion of the classes, it might be where it's just a virtual class, or we have people that are in the classroom at the same time working out with you while you're at home working out. And so it's called a blended class. And what we have done for this semester is actually designed a virtual fit pass only. So even if you you've not been to the fitness center before, you can purchase a fit pass that is just the virtual classes to be able to join and work out at home or from your office in order to be able to have that experience without coming to the gym. And we always design those classes to work with the equipment that you have at home, even if it's no equipment. So you have different options like that at the gym in order to help to support your exercise program. Personal training is another way that you can look at learning how to incorporate resistance training into your program if you are new to it as well. And a benefit of personal training is that you get a fitness assessment to see what your starting point is, which includes a goal setting session to talk about what your needs are, what your wants are. And then that personal trainer designs a program for you specific to what your needs, your goals, and your interests are, and then works with you so that you understand how to exercise and what good form is. And it can also expand your experience level with the different pieces of equipment that are in the fitness center. So wide variety. And when you go to a gym, you're going to see everything from those machine weights to those select weights to some of those other pieces of equipment, resistance bands, stability balls, medicine balls, BOSUs. I mean, there's just so many that you can play around with. Now let's talk about at home and let's talk about in the office. So LeQui, if you don't mind stopping the screen share so that I can demonstrate some movements for everyone. Let's do that. And so I have some goodies that I have brought for us to take a look at today when it comes to what can be used as equipment. Canned goods can be used at home or in your office for equipment to be able to do a workout. You could also, you might have, maybe you've done physical therapy, or maybe you got some free bands somewhere, or you purchased some bands. They could be long with handles or without, or a loop band like this. These are great to use for doing a total body workout. And even something like a towel, it can be just a hand towel, can be used for exercise in order to get a great workout. And so I'm going to adjust right here. And if you have, so I'm here in my office, I have my desk and I have my chair. Make sure that y'all can see me. And let me do a few little demonstrations of things that you can do. And these are things that you can do whether you're in your office or you're at home in order to get a good workout. If you have a chair with wheels on it, be very careful. I recommend something without wheels, but this is what I have to demonstrate with today. And a simple way that you can get started with working on your lower body strength, your quadriceps, the fronts of the thighs, your hamstrings, the back of the thighs, your glutes, your entire lower body, is just by practicing sitting in your chair and standing back up without using your hands. So I'm just standing with my feet are a couple of inches in front of the chair. My belly is pulled in. So I think about bracing your abdominal muscles. Imagine somebody's going to poke you in the stomach. So you're going to tighten up your stomach to get ready for that. Shoulders are down, and you're just going to sit back in your chair. You can sit all the way down, or you can just barely sit in it and stand back up. And doing 8 to 10 repetitions of that is a great way to start. Now, in addition to sitting down and standing up, I'm squeezing all the muscles in my legs firmly. So my legs are squeezing hard. I'm pressing my feet into the ground, and I'm sitting back with my bottom and then coming back up. So this is allowing the weight to sit back into my heels a little bit more than my toes, and for me to get a whole lower body workout. So that's an option that you can do. You can take it a little bit further by doing a single leg squat. So there we go. And so a single leg squat, same idea. I'm going to hold on to my chair and I'm going to sit back with my bottom and then come back up. You can even keep this foot on the floor. And you're going to sit back with the bottom instead of coming over the toes. So the heel is going to stay in contact with the ground, and do a single leg squat, or even tip forward. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those little bird feeders. That's like the bird, or it's not a bird feeder. It's like I don't know if it's a water gauge or what, but it's like a bird tipping forward, like it's getting water out of the bird bath and then back up. This is another way that you can strengthen your lower body without using any equipment at all. So lower body taken care of. by doing 1, 2, or all 3 of those exercises. Something else that you can do is use your desk to do push-ups. And your wall can be used for push-ups as well. And so on your push-ups, your back is nice and flat. Your belly is pulled in. I have a straight line from my head all the way down to my heels. And just come down, bringing your chest to your desk, and then back up can be a push-up that you can do. You can do the same thing against the wall for a different type of challenge. And making sure that those hands are about the same height as your shoulders. So you don't want them higher, you don't want them lower, about the same height as your shoulders. Nice flat back, bringing your nose to the wall and then back is a great way to work your chest, your biceps, your triceps, your back, and your core. So I'm bracing my belly again, keeping my back nice and flat. So that's an option too. I know I kind of got cut off there a little bit. So those are 2 exercises that you can do that are going to target pretty much every muscle group that you have. So doing a squat and doing a push-up are going to hit everything. You notice I didn't get down to the floor, but you can get down to the floor and you can do them on your knees or you can do them on your toes with that same idea, keeping everything strong and firm, and then just lowering your body as far as you can down and then back up, keeping your back strong, your belly strong, your legs strong, everything strong when you're doing that exercise. Here's another option, using a towel. So this towel can help you to generate force in your muscles in order to help strengthen them. So what I'm going to do is hold on to this towel and I'm going to pretend like I'm trying to pull the towel up in half. So I'm pulling out. This right here is causing my muscles to get active and work. And then I can do things like keep pulling, lift up over my head and lower down. And that's making my shoulders and my triceps work. I can pull it to my chest, allowing my back to work. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. I can come to the side, press my arms down. Now the triceps, the back of my upper arm is working by just doing that. And I'm just pulling out on the towel the whole time. I can turn my hands upside down and then curl up. And that's allowing my biceps, the front of the upper arm, to work. So doing things like this with a simple towel can help you to build that muscle as well. Another one you can do is keep your belly nice and braced again. And you can act like you're canoeing side to side. Keep your belly nice and braced. And I'm hitting my obliques here on the sides and my core. Or you can rotate side to side, keeping your hips forward, shoulders down, and rotate from side to side, keeping this towel right in the center, right in the middle of the chest the whole time as you rotate from side to side and hit those obliques again. So many things you can do with your canned goods, okay? Besides eat them, you can use them to press over your head. I'll get down so you can see me. Press over your head. You can use them for biceps. You can use them for your triceps, kicking it back. You can take them down to the ground for a squat. Press them up. You can use these any way that you can use dumbbells. You can use your canned goods. Different sizes. So these are 15.5 ounces, so almost a pound. But you can get bigger cans. You can get smaller cans to make it work for you. You can put these in a bag, like I mentioned, and use them to press and hold and do different things in order to increase your challenge. And then lastly, these resistance bands that you can use. So you can put around your legs. You could step touch side to side, like so, to hit the outsides of the legs. And then you can also use them to do some of those things that we did with the towels, squeezing back to work the back, pressing over your head to work those shoulders. And then you can do things like, let's see, you can press down like this for the triceps. You can curl it up with the biceps. So these bands you can do a lot of creative things with as well. So those are just a few different things. I'm sweating a little bit. Those are a few different things that you can do to incorporate exercise in without it, being expensive, for it to be short in order to start developing that strength and, be comfortable. So hopefully there are some different ideas that you might be able to take away, or you're like, oh, I have that at home that I could use for strength training, and pick one exercise to start, or pick 2 exercises to start, and start doing it, a couple times a week. And then that's going to help you to build up with that base of strength. Woo, sweating. Gonna have to take a drink. Thank you. All right. So what questions? Oh, and then also I was going to mention too that yoga is another great way to help build strength. So exercises or programs like yoga and Pilates and bar are all great options to help build strength and balance within the body. So if those are some of the different activities that you enjoy doing, know that they are doing a lot to help build muscle and bone and balance as well. Okay, so what questions do you have for me and LeQui?
And feel free to use the chat feature as well. I'll keep an eye. We can keep an eye on those.
I have a question.
Yes, Jessica.
So I was very active as a child. I did triathlons and things at like age 9, 10, 11. So I literally was like, and then I did like cross country, and I danced throughout high school and things like that. And now that I'm older, I've tried to like be active. I do like a 2-mile walk every day with the dog, and now it's cold. So I can't really do that, quite as frequently, just depending on if we have nice weather.
Right.
And anytime that like I've started kind of like a fitness regime, whether it's Beachbody or group fitness or things like that, it seems like I always want to, and I know you're supposed to start slow and start kind of moving in, but I've had that like where I've been in like the best shape of my life in the past. And then like, I don't want to start slow. What would be your suggestion? Because it seems like I will end up injuring myself, like either with feet, with tendons or overextensions or things like that, because I remember being so like fit. And that's just not, like, oh, it should just come right back. And it's so hard for me to like start slow. So what would be your suggestion to like work that in to where you're like, you feel like you're still getting a good workout, but you're not like hurting yourself, or to see that like consistency, but in like that's like the hard thing, I think, for me.
That's a really great question, and I'm glad that you bring that up. So in addition to so every time that you exercise, it's always recommended that you start with a warm-up and then cool down. So that's one thing that can help you just with each individual bout of exercise to reduce your risk of injury, is making sure that you warm up for a few minutes, 3 to 5 minutes before you start your exercise, and then gradually increasing the intensity of the workout each time. So when you're joining a fitness class, or when you're doing something like a pre-recorded class, like a Beachbody or something, I think it's important to maybe go into it and set some goals for yourself. So for example, I'll have new people that come to class and they haven't been exercising, and I'll encourage them, even if you just stay for 10 or 15 minutes today, please do that for yourself to make sure that you're acclimating your body to the exercise, because it's not just your heart and your lungs and your muscles that are acclimating to it. It is your tendons and your joints and your ligaments. And if they don't have enough time to get ready for the challenge of the exercise, then you are at greater risk for injury. So it's important to make sure that you start out slow. So you might think about that, say like, okay, I'm only going to do 15 or 20 minutes or 30 minutes of this particular workout today, or I'm going to select an exercise, a workout that is something that is a shorter time frame than what I typically do. And also, if it's a class, if it's a live class, talk to your instructor ahead of time and let them know that you're just getting back into it, that you have a tendency to experience injuries when you're first starting because you push yourself a little bit harder. And that will let that instructor know that they might want to have some good visual with you, and maybe give you some recommendations so that you are mindful of that as well. So those are some things that you can do, and really just listen to your body. Use lighter weight And know that because you have experienced exercise before, your body will bounce back, but you do need to give it a few, maybe 2 weeks or so before you really start pushing it again. So
That's
very
great.
good
Thank
question.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. I've got some other questions coming in through the chat. Are the virtual classes and blended classes available for Norman and HSC and Tulsa? Yes, for all three. So those virtual classes you can purchase a membership to, and it's only $25 plus tax if you're with Norman, Tulsa, or HSC. The Norman campus, if you're wanting to come to the gym as well as do virtual, then you would need to purchase a fitness and recreation membership. However, if you're wanting to do just virtual, then you can purchase just the virtual Fit Pass. Our virtual class is something that we might keep doing even after COVID is under control. That is a great question as well, Caroline. And that is the answer is maybe. We are continuing to try and evolve as the fitness industry evolves, and we want to provide our members with the services that they want. And so if we see that virtual is something that people want to continue doing and it's something that we're able to do, then we'll absolutely continue to do it. So it's really just going to be how it's received and, just making sure that we're fitting the needs of our members as well as what the availability of our instructors are. So those are some things that we always need to take into consideration.
Judy asked a really good question about the 30 minutes of moderate activity 5 days a week. She asked, can that be 15 minutes twice a day for the same effect? And the answer to that is yes.
It is.
Don't feel like you have to do a full 30-minute workout, or if you're doing an hour workout, if you can fit in 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there to get that exercise in, it's all going to add up at the end of the day. So math, yay.
Yeah. And then also when you do strength training, is that on top of the 5 days a week of a moderate workout? So the moderate workout was talking about cardiorespiratory fitness. So walking, jogging, biking, swimming, Zumba, things like that. And then the strength is different. However, you can also do combination exercises where you're doing your strength training in a circuit format so that you're keeping your heart rate up. And so you get the benefits of doing cardio and strength at the same time. So let's say that you were going to do 5 exercises. Say you're going to do a squat, you're going to do a push-up, you're going to do a bent over row, you're going to do a crunch, and you're going to do, something else. Do a circuit of, squat, push-up, bent over row, blah, 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 blah. Come back around, do it again, and do it in a way where you're not resting in between exercises, and that will keep your heart rate up. Or you can add some things like jumping jacks or jogging or fast walking into the exercise program as well, in between your strength movements, in order to keep the heart rate up so that you get more bang for your buck and you get it all done in one workout instead of 5. You still do want to make sure that when you have those strength days that you rest at least 48 hours to 72 hours before you do that one again, so that you give your muscles enough time to recover. And then let's see, I'm not sure who, but Live Well recommended an app to use a 7-minute workout and add variety, or between Netflix episodes, a 7-minute workout. Oh, nice. I like that. So you've got, you're watching some Netflix, then you do a little workout and get some different challenges in there as well.
So no more Netflix and chill. It's Netflix and workout.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Great questions and suggestions. What other questions might you have? We've answered all of your questions about life and solved all of the mysteries of strength training. Perfect. Love it. And I teach strength circuit at noon. If anyone is interested in joining me, it's virtual.
Yeah, and we'll be sure to send a follow-up email to attendees with some of the different things you've talked about, and even that Get Active questionnaire so they can refer to it and check that out. also links to each campus's fitness facility website and Blue Cross Blue Shield fitness program information. So in a follow-up email, we'll make sure you guys get that information to a number of things that have been discussed and additional things as well. So a lot of great information. Yeah, I think you guys hit it on the head with a lot of good stuff. I know I've worked with people that going to the gym can be intimidating. So you guys have done a great job showing, you can start small, you can start in a variety of ways, and do the things you really enjoy. I do not enjoy running long distances. So, it wouldn't be good for me to, design a workout program to where, I'm running 3 miles every day because I wouldn't stick with it. So that was great points that you guys put. So thank you very much. Real quick, anybody else have questions? Oh, and we'll have the virtual classes you were speaking of. We'll make sure we try to include that in the follow-up email as well.
And there's a slide with our contact information, Malinda and myself, our emails. You can also visit our website, which is ou.edu/FAR. We'll have all the information about our classes, the virtual only Fit Pass, those types of things. So any questions you have, feel free to reach out to us. We appreciate you all.
Thank you very much. This
Yeah,
is really
Malinda.
a good, this is really good.